helps the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is the brother Arawam from a James Jamaica camp, coming with another quick lesson. And this lesson is, piggybacking off, or as we say, lambacking off what Apostle Ramlab was, getting into as it pertains to the sifting. And at one point in the video, he was, talking about, brothers who, your lives may be falling apart in different ways, whether it's your family or your children or your woman or your job, it's all coming, crashing down, and then that, affects the way how, you operate within the ministry, or that affects, stops you from getting your crown, or stops us from getting our crown, it pretty much, it's almost as if, being overtaken, but we have strength in Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? And as I was meditating upon that, I was thinking about, a few scriptures come to mind, and I just wanted to share this, with Aki. I'm definitely speaking to myself first and foremost, but, hopefully this is edifying and exhorting unto the body. So the first precept is 1 Peter 4, verse 12. It says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you." This was the first precept that came to mind, when because the term that he literally used was, your life is falling apart. But really, even if, you should go ahead and quote unquote fix your life in this society, in the end, it's not going to matter, because the judgments are coming forth. The prophecies are popping off. The Lord is getting closer. And at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to matter is whether or not, we receive mercy from Yahweh Shem Shai. The only thing that's going to matter is whether we, make it on those chariots. And the only way to do that is to labor within this ministry and give diligence to make our calling and election sure. So when these things happen, it shouldn't seem or come off as, a strange thing, happening unto us, right? Verse 13 says, "But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of the Messiah's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy." Because the truth of the matter is, once things really pop off like the real way, quote unquote life falling apart, not gonna mean shit then, right? Well, the whole thing with your family, the whole thing with your finances, the whole thing with your woman, or your ambitions, or whatever it is, it's not gonna matter then. The only thing that's gonna matter is whether or not we are right with Yahweh Shem Shai. So now that we're in the grace period, as once again speaking to myself first and foremost, if the Spirit is upon upon your brothers, the thing is to cut the bullshit, as the apostle said, and get to work, because really that's the only thing that's gonna matter, as if if we're gonna receive mercy from Yahweh Shem Shai when it's all said and done. And if we're of the hopeful elect, then the way in which we're going to receive mercy is being diligent in this ministry through faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. Peradventure we receive that mercy, right, and receive that glory mentioned here in verse 13. It says that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. Because if it's a case that we're currently bullshitting around, and then as the scripture say, that day pops off like a thief in the night, because that's how it's gonna come, what feeling are you gonna have? What feeling are you gonna have? Is it gonna be shame? Is it gonna be, damn, I waste all this time doing this and doing that and trying to make this right and trying to make that work, or trying to get this and that together? Or is it gonna be Tawadi Haba Shemel Shai, because it's coming to pass, the glory is coming, all that we have endured, for thy name's sake, it's now being fulfilled. What has been promised to the hopeful elect, you know, is now being fulfilled. So that joy will be there. That yes, you know, hey, you know, we're up, you know, it's time. All the promises, all the blessings, you know, all the glory, you know, all the wonderful things that have been promised unto us, you know, is about to fall in our in our hands, right? That crown of life, that being on top, right? So it requires, you know, and it would behoove us, you know, to give that diligence to make our calling and election sure. All right, so I'm going to get my next precept. History. All right, so this is Hebrews 12, and I'll start at verse 5. It says, "And have ye forgotten exhortation, which speaketh unto you as unto children? My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him." And that's the thing. You know, if it's a case that your quote unquote life is falling apart, you know, that's a new trial that's been placed upon you by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that new trial is there to help you to overcome, so that, you know, you can be stronger and be perfected within the spirit. There's a lesson within that. And yes, it's bitter, and yes, you know, it hurts and there's a pain, but we have to endure it with the right spirit and doing the right things, you know. And the way to do that is to pull closer to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, to pull closer using these scriptures. Because at the end of the day, you know, we've been blessed with the understanding of these scriptures, and what has been promised, it will not fail. You know, these scriptures will not fail. Right? It says, "My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth." And you know, losing these things and not having certain things, and, you know, things falling apart, you know, with it throughout that process, there are some things that are being cast aside and being put away, that will not serve us, you know. And that's the thing that we have to learn, that, you know, the Lord may be taking something away from, if you're losing something, it's because the Lord said that, you know, it's not needful for you, and you're better off without it. And in enduring that loss and going through that process, you become stronger within the spirit and having the right mindset to be able to move forward towards salvation. But it requires faith, and it requires trusting in the Lord, and it requires to trusting in His words. Right? Verse 7, it says, if ye endure the chastening, the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. So, you know, if it's all going well, everything is fine and dandy, and, you know, happy-go-lucky and not a care in the world, you're a bastard. You know, it means, yeah, it's just going to end bad for you. It means that you're not a part of the fold. And we have to be reminded of that sometime, you know, even though the chastening may be, you know, heavy and it may be bitter. But then again, the scripture also says that the Lord does not give us more than we can bear. But with the temptation, you know, give us a way to escape. And we have to believe that. Right? Furthermore, verse 9, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit. But he for our profit. It's all, you know, there's a benefit in that, yo. It's for our profit, it's for our good, that we may be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastening for the present seem to be joyous but grievous. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. Nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. So if we endure and keep going, and trusting in the Lord, eventually, it gets, and we make it out, then we have that, that peaceable fruit of righteousness. Right? Verse 12 says, wherefore lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees, make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. So, so be healed within these words, right? Because you don't want to be a case where you give up and say, I can't manage this, and then as the chapter goes down, let me just continue. Spirit's leading me that way either way, right? Verse 14, for follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord, looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness spring up, trouble you, and thereby many be defiled. Right? So you don't want to be a case you're going through something, and we're not looking diligently to the grace. We start to get bitter. Why am I going through this? Why is this happening? Why me? Why me? Or woe is me? Or you start to get bitter, and then you get cast aside, right? And it gives the example of Esau, who for gave up his birthright just for a plate of food, pretty much, just for instant ease or instant comfort. But it cost him his birthright. We don't want to be like unto the son of perdition. All right. Let me get the next precept. All right, so this is the book of James chapter 1. I'll start at verse 2. It says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. So we have to endure these things. And through Yahweh, if we truly have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and we we'll be strengthened. And also, so even though some things you have to go through on your own, don't when you're going through things, don't neglect the brotherhood. Don't pull away and try to go in that lone wolf spirit. If you have brothers around you, ask them for prayer. Seek counsel. Ask them to be around them so that you can be exhorted and built up. But there are some times and some things that you just have to go through on your own. But if it's possible, use the strength of the brotherhood so that we can be strengthened, as the scripture said, what iron sharpeneth iron. All right, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Right. Right. Verse 2 says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that he may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So when we go through that that phase of being chastised and enduring and making it through through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, then we are perfected within the spirit. We'll be entire, we'll be perfect, wanting nothing. We won't be lacking anything within our spirits. That's our spirits being molded unto perfection. All right. Verse 5 says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. And that's another thing as well, praying for strength, even if you you praying to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, asking for strength, asking for wisdom and guidance to be able to endure this test and understand the lesson and make it through as an elect. Praying to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? Prayer with faith never fails you. All right. So if you lack wisdom, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, not wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. Right? A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And the last lesson that I did, went back to seeking counsel, and also making a decision, after you've seek counsel and seen it through. Right? Repenting, not deterring from it, when certain things come up, when certain obstacles come up, or when a more comfortable route may seem, or opportunity may seem to provide itself, which in turn is leading towards instant gratification or something of the sort, something more pleasing and easier, which throws you off your track, where if you are just endured and make it through the obstacle and the challenges that came with the initial decision, which would have been the right decision, it throws us or throws you far left. Right? So it can't be double-minded. Make a choice and stick to it. Right? I'm going to jump to verse 12. It says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life which Yahweh had promised to them that love him. All right? So we want that crown of life. We want to be partakers of of that glory, being joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, receiving that inheritance. And we have to pray, we have to fast, and we have to be diligent within this ministry, and asking Yahweh Shai to give us a spirit to do so. And as the scripture says, what faith without works is dead. So making that prayer and pushing the effort and making the effort to get things done within the spirit for Yahweh Shai namesake. Right? So I think I have one more precept, and then I'm gonna close out. Yeah, definitely one more precept, then I'll close out. All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 2. I'll start at 1. Right? It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Right? Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and may not haste in the time of trouble. That this also came to mind when the apostle mentioned lives falling apart. Right? You have to constantly endure, regardless of how long it takes you. And he also said a wonderful, he said, look, the Lord, Yahweh Shai is ready to help you, but it's just a case of, he's watching to see what you're going to do, see if you're going to make the right choice, or if, or if you're just going to do your own thing. The answer is there, right? The Lord is there. But if we don't act right and operate within the right manner, then He's not going to give us what we need. We have to be within the right spirit. We have to be within the right mindset. Right? It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So whatever it is, pull closer to Yahweh Shai. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. What that goes back to the same thing the apostle was mentioning. Quote unquote midlife crisis. Time things are happening in your life where it seems like everything is going wrong and your life is falling apart. That's the time that we should be pulling closer to Yahweh Shai. Right? And he says it should be cheerful, but also it tells us in Hebrews that no present chastening doesn't seem joyous. But that's just the mindset. We have to flip it. We're like, look, this is a trial, this is a test, and it's going to get heavy, but we have Yahweh Shai. Right? It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right? And that's what, that time, where you feel like our lives are falling apart, that's the furnace of adversity. Right? And gold being tried. right? It says, believe in him and he will help thee, order thy way aright and trust in him. Yeah, we have to set ourselves in order. It says, ye that fear Yahweh, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest he fall. And that's the thing, being caught up and trying to fix it and then being entangled, in the world, as the apostle was going, is not to say not to take care of family, not to take care of your your responsibilities and your daily bread, or none of that. But you can't be engrossed in it so much where, the ministry is no longer a priority, or the ministry gets put aside, or gets left behind. Because once you go that route, it's like going aside and falling. It's like going back into the world. All right. It says, ye that fear Yahweh, wait for his mercies, and go not aside lest he fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail. And that's the thing, see, trying to deliver ourselves out of situations that makes it worse. And the Lord will show us that, look, you can't do that, because the Lord does all things. Right? It says, ye that fear Yahweh, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Verse 10, it says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? And that's the thing, sometimes within these situations and things get so heavy, brothers may operate in a way that shows a lack of faith and losing faith, right? And then that's the reason why they try to fix things on their own, or try to, it gets to a point where they're overwhelmed or overcome of the work. Just as it mentioned in Second Ezra about the condition of the battle, and it says, he that overcome, shall pretty much be rewarded. But if he are overcome, by the battle, then pretty much you have lost. Roughly paraphrasing, right? So yeah, if it's a case, remember, matter of fact, I think I'm gonna close out with that condition of the battle. All right, so this is 2 Ezra 7 verse 57. It says, then he answered and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said, but if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. Right? And if you go through the chapter, it's talking about, battling unrighteousness, and doing the right thing. Pray, but at the same time, it's despite whatever you're going through, it's to put Yahweh Shem Shai first, knowing that those who do that will receive the reward of the kingdom. All right. So yeah, as a matter of fact, I know I said that it was gonna be my last. I'm just gonna give 2 more precepts real quickly. Right, I think I quoted them earlier. Calling an election. Right? It says 2 Peter 1 verse 10. It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, for if ye do these things, ye shall never fail. And pushing this ministry despite whatever is going on in your life, or despite even your life quote unquote falling apart, that's showing that's being diligent. That's showing faith. So it says what? Give diligence to make our calling and election sure. Right? And the next precept, if we say we have faith, faith without works, right? James 2 Verse 18, it says, Yea, a man may say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Shew me thy faith without thy works, and I will shew thee my faith by my works. Right? Jump into verse 20, it says, But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Right? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he offered Isaac his son upon the altar? Wouldn't that have been, Abraham getting what he always wanted, his son, and then, being told to sacrifice it? Wouldn't that be something to consider as, his world falling apart, so to speak? Right? See thou how faith wrought with his works, and by his works was faith made perfect. And the scripture was fulfilled with saying, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called a friend of God. Ye see then how by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. So we can't just be going around saying we're Hebrew Israelites. We can't just be going around saying we have faith, but when things, we're going around saying that we're servants of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, but when things that happen, within the world and within our daily lives happen, we cast the Lord's work aside, because that's not showing faith. If we believe all the things that have been promised, we cast it aside, that shows that we lack faith. We have to show our faith through works, right? And once again, this goes for myself first and foremost, but hopefully this was edifying. Once more, and give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom.